Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Purgatorio. I know it's very exciting. We're back. I'd like to begin with introducing our amazing designer panelists. I guess we'll just go from top down. I'll start myself off. I'm Haley from the Black Ribbon. Also, everybody, please say a little bit about your brand because we have a huge variety here today, which I think is awesome. Give everybody an idea of kind of what you make, what you do. So my brand is J Fashion. And I kind of touch a little bit of everything. I've done, some Decora, some Fairy K, mostly do Lolita. Doing a little bit of cottagecore right now, and I also do a little bit of wafuku because I'm obsessed. So, passing it on to Lena.
Hi everyone. I'm Lena from Agata Designs. My shop is heavily J Fashion inspired. I make whatever the heck I want, which ranges from more gothic stuff to pastel nonsense, Decora, Fairy K, mostly Lolita. I make a lot of dresses for a brand that tries to promote itself as very gender inclusive, but I can talk more about my upcoming release this weekend later. But yeah. Samantha, your turn.
We're just going in the order of
Hi, I'm Samantha Ray. My first label was Blasphemous Closet, so I'm one of the first Lolita designers in the US. I retired that after 13 years, and so now I mostly do like high-end special occasion that's really heavily gothic and romantic. So a lot of special occasion wear and couture. And so I guess next... Are we going clockwise or counterclockwise?
I'm thinking it's me.
Flip a coin.
You pick.
I'm thinking it's me. Okay, everyone can like hear me and stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm Kamila, also known as Hard Decora. I have a, of course, J Fashion inspired brand. I guess I do mostly like Decora. I guess you can use my things, some of them for like Fairy K or something like that. Usually like streetwear. I also do, I'm involved in 3 other projects that's not clothes. I also make a comic that's associated with my Hard Decora brand. I also am involved with OK Podcast, which is a J Fashion oriented podcast that posts monthly. And I'm involved with Emptying the Clips comic, which is a comic about 2 Decora kids and the trials and triumphs of, being a Decora kid. So, yeah, involved with a lot of different things.
Okay, I guess I'm bringing up the caboose of this train. I'm Jordana. My brand is Moss Badger. I guess I make Gothic Lolita because I don't know why that's where it ended up as, but because it's just easier to match things with black. I don't know. I also make accessories like rosettes. I actually remember to wear one this time. And earrings.
I still have some of your rings.
Yes, I need to make some more rings. It's been a little while. I do resin sometimes.
I need more rings.
And I make stickers now because everyone needs those.
They're awesome stickers, by the way. There's so many now.
Thank you.
All right, designers. Now, we're back more than a year after the first Purgatorio and our first version of this panel. I know we have a slightly different group here, and we still have some of the same ones from the first time we did this. But I'd like to begin by checking in with all of you. I know the lay of the land has changed a lot over the last year and a half. That might be an understatement. What have you focused on since the great pandemic? Did you feel like you saw business growth, or things may have changed for you? And maybe talk a little bit about some of your unique struggles. Anybody can go. This is a free for all. So if you feel like you have something you really want to say, just jump on in. And we'll also just we'll discuss amongst ourselves some stuff that we've all been doing together too. So
yeah. I feel like so much has changed, but at the same time, like pre-parallelogram, I was trying to get out of doing anime conventions, and I kept saying, okay, well, I'll only do 5 this year, because I used to do 21, I think, with 20 to 20, like around 20 to 21, I think, was my average. And then I said I'd do 5, and I still did 15 every year. So actually being able to get away from conventions was actually super amazing, because it's basically just me. I do have my younger sister is a web dev, and she helps me run the website. So I don't do everything completely alone, but I do 90% of the stuff myself. Like having time, not running to events and not just mass producing any kind of stock to have for events gave me time to actually release like more detailed garments and highlight some of the actual skills I have, instead of just making the same cookie cutter JSK in whatever fabric I can get my hands on. And that's just been such an amazing experience for me. I've been so busy this year with just online sales, because I've been able to push online more without having all the in-person stuff.
I mean, my whole thing changed pretty drastically before everything happened last year. Like, I had actually taken a hiatus for the first time in probably 13 years, and I was just coming off of that, starting to see clients again. All of my clients had to postpone their weddings. All of their big events got postponed or canceled. So I was just kind of sitting at home with my thoughts for a couple of months. And then I started making masks to sell after just making them for free. And weirdly, making masks was able to keep me afloat, since all of my stuff is so highly custom and like really, really fitted to my customers. I need to see them in person as often as I can. And not being able to do that, I did not feel comfortable being able to make the kind of garment that I would have made beforehand. But I sold so many masks that I was able to not have any hiccups. And on top of that, because of the uprising here in Minneapolis, there was a lot more eyes on Black business owners. And so I ended up doing a lot of panels, teaching classes, different stuff about, being a Black artist, being a Black fashion designer during a pandemic. And weirdly, that kind of shifted. I've been wanting to kind of pivot into teaching a little bit. So it gave me the kind of opportunity to learn how to teach virtually. And I'm actually going to like lean a little heavily into that going forward and take a certain amount of high-end clients now, do my teaching and do my YouTube series. And that's kind of like the whole year was just trying to figure out how to rework my business for the new landscape of both Minneapolis and the alternative fashion industry.
Yeah, it's gonna be like really, really different. Just being in the middle of all of that stuff. I mean, it's just really hard to wrap my head around. I know there was just a lot of like local, like just I don't want to call it violence really, because it's not what it really was about. But that's just a very different environment to be dealing with on top of the great pandemic. So I'm just trying to like wrap my head around how different that must have been for you. And I know you saw a lot of like growth in your social media accounts. I know a lot of people were sharing Black creators. I think that was probably true for all of our wonderful Black designers here today. But yeah, it was definitely like really, really intense. Like just the last couple of like this the last year, you guys, was really intense, and everyone's had very different struggles. So I'm so glad that we have this really great, diverse group to talk to about this stuff, because it's interesting to get your perspective. Because I mean,
it was really interesting too, just when all that happened, and we got that boost because of Bud Cape, and then the Boulay brothers. I remember messaging Jordana, and I was like, "So did you just gain like 4,000 followers in the last 3 days?" She's like, "I did."
Yeah, that was nuts.
It was wild.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations. You guys definitely deserve that. So like, that's just really awesome to see that, it really went viral, and, some positivity has come out of this really kind of weird, dark time. So like, that's really awesome for you guys. Anybody else want to add a little bit about their last, how much things have shifted?
I'm not going to let you be the caboose, Boss Badger.
Okay. Yeah, I had my biggest dress release pre-order because my fabric
Yes.
source decided to discontinue the fabric base that I like. So I said, okay, y'all like those bat dresses. This is your last chance. And
This is your chance. Get on it.
Yeah. So I had like an unprecedentedly ginormous pre-order, which, you know, doing production in the middle of a pandemic has its challenges.
Yeah.
So some people are still waiting for their item from, you know, it was in the fall. So it's been like forever. But most of them have gone out, and, you know, there might be a couple leftovers because I ended up having to like find another fabric option, and so maybe there might be a couple after we're done and everyone gets theirs. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, just doing like online events and, you know, that kind of stuff.
You know, and doing collaborations and Kickstarters that, you know, raise.
Oh yeah.
There's
There's gonna be a whole panel about that. So yeah, I did, and like honestly, like 90% of that work was Hey Newly. So yes, I did participate in a collab Kickstarter with Hey Newly that was like also kind of like blew everything out of the water, but like,
It was,
you know,
huge.
Yeah, it was kind of like she really didn't think it was gonna do as well as it did, and so I was kind of like, I knew it was gonna do well because duh, but like, like everyone loves
a big
Nunu.
hole left when she left the community, so
yeah. So yeah, it was wild, but good. So that too, which is still kind of going on. So
awesome.
Yeah,
I just filled out my survey for. I figured I couldn't decide which colorway I wanted, so I got 2 of the Wandering Mystic Tarots. Yeah, and then a week later, I was able to find the actual Mystic Tarot secondhand. So you know,
nice.
I wanted that beret so bad. I was just like, okay, I don't care what I get. I gotta add on that hat.
I know. That
yeah,
hat.
I need like several of those berets. I was like, I need.
I know. I hope she releases those separately because I tried to buy one, but the shipping was wrong.
Yeah, there were a lot of issues with like. I mean, Kickstarter is hard when you've never done it before. Which
yeah, it wouldn't let me check out because it was coming up with an error because the shipping wasn't correct. Yeah. So I kept getting kicked out. So I found it because she only added like the beret option the last day, and I was just like, it's fine. But I'm praying she like, you know, opens up a pre-order separately or like releases them separately. Please.
Yeah, stay tuned.
put that in the suggestion box, please.
Oh my gosh. And what about you, Kyla? How has the last little bit been for you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel similarly to Lena, where I was just like, I'm gonna do like way less conventions. Like, I'm gonna.
We always say that, and it never happens.
Exactly, because there's the FOMO, and then there's, you know, like, even if you don't seek them out, they seek you out sometimes. You know, someone comes up to you, hey, you want to do this convention and a fashion show? And just like, ooh, it's this convention. I'll risk it all for this convention. So yeah, sometimes that happens. But yeah, so I was just thinking like, yeah, I'm not gonna like do that. I'm gonna finally like focus on my comic. And then the pandemic happened, and I was just like, yay, I don't have to feel really sad about everybody going places, and I'm not going.
It won't be that FOMO, it's true.
Yeah. But it was just also like, oh shit, we can't go anywhere even if we wanted to. That sucks. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was one, I guess, benefit of just like, it kind of forced me to not do that. Yeah, also concentrating on online sales. I moved over to a Shopify-based site, which I think was the best thing I done for myself as far as the amount of orders I was getting. And I was just like, yes, thank goodness, because this actually keeps it way more organized than the other site that I had. Yeah, and then switching over to being like almost completely made to order. And just trying to figure out like if I do want to move into doing more comic work and things like that, I'm going to have to make space for it. And just trying to like think about what that's going to look like going forward, even when conventions start again. Just having a moment to like think about that. Let me see. Yeah, just like, thinking about, just reorienting my business in relative peace, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this last year, I think for everybody, was like a good time to just kind of reassess. No matter where you were, like no matter what you were doing, it was a good moment to just sit and kind of like, what do I want to focus on? Or, you know, it was a chance to do some creative stuff that we don't normally get because we are on the road so much, a lot of us, or we're like so deep in what we've been doing. This forced pause, I think, was in some ways really helpful for creativity to get that back flowing. I think a lot of people.
I was about to close my shop at the end of 2019. I was at the tail end, just barely trying to reach do what I had to do because my mental health was in such a bad state. And then moving the travel requirement. You know, I've gone from being, you know, very introverted to full hermit. I don't leave my house, but I'm not mad about that. It's doing better. So if you know,
if it works for you, that's fine. Good for you.
That traveling with the clothes is so hard. And I have a lot of travel anxiety, and it was just getting like worse and worse. It wasn't getting like better.
I hate driving. I have really bad driving anxiety. I did
the convention circuit from probably 2005 until maybe 2013. And it can really grate on your mental health, especially if you're like, the money's too good. I got to put the money before whether or not I can actually like physically and emotionally do this weekend. And like, you're the face of your brand. And so you have to be on the whole weekend, and that's exhausting. And then there's the schmoozing after hours and all that stuff. And so that for like almost 10 years, I was like, I need to stop doing conventions. I can't do this anymore because it's grading down. It was the grading down of my stuff to make it easy to mass produce. So I could make a bunch of them to make the money. And so I was spending as much time making the stuff, and the return on my investment wasn't as good. So I was like, if I stop, I can make higher end stuff. And I can choose my clients, and I only have to schmooze a handful of clients instead of a bunch of people who are going to turn me down and wait until Sunday for me to put everything on sale.
The worst.
Yep. The worst.
The worst.
Like,
so now I just go to cons for fun.
Yes, good. I love to hear that.
The other thing for me is like the cost of travel was so high that it really just ruined my margins. And so my sales online, because everybody's in their house on the internet this past year, has been the same minus the cost of travel. So that made a huge difference.
I bet that was eye-opening.
Well, my business has been in the red for the past few years, and it wasn't this year. It wasn't in 2020. It just tells you how much how high the cost of travel is, and the fact that like going to conventions, I wasn't able to make as nice products. It's just like so many things piled on top for all of that.
For sure.
Yeah.
So those of you who do conventions, do you think going forward that virtual sales might work for you, like doing the whole like direct video sale type of thing? So sort of like this, but you're selling to people who log into you, so you're not spending money.
I love all of the events that J Fashion On Demand and Bay Area K have done. I've taken part in most of them. And I love it so much. I really enjoy that. It's really helped my online customer base grow. And I think this year will be really interesting as America opens back up to see, with conventions being an option again, if people do continue to purchase online. So after, like in 2020, I'll have more data from this year to see if I can actually maintain, because I would love to be mostly online. I know I've committed myself to going to Dragon Con this year, and that's it. That's the only event I'm doing, but I will actually physically be at Dragon Con. I will be attending BlurredCon as an attendee because it's local to me and I have friends going.
I'd love to do that one. Jealous.
BlurredCon is so good. It's so good. Such good energy.
I need to be a BlurredCon West Coast. I need to go to that. I would love that.
DragonCon does count as 3 events for Squid.
That's true.
DragonCon is 5 events.
DragonCon's a lot. I'm stepping out this year just because
I've still never been.
I mean, I love DragonCon. It's a great con, but like the vaccination situation in the South is kind of scary, and I don't think I'm ready to be around that many people yet.
I'm not doing conventions till next year.
Not where I'm at personally. But to get back to your question specifically, Samantha, regarding like, what you're talking about, like doing kind of video selling.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't like to do that kind of thing. I think there's definitely people, and like I've watched a lot of the Japanese brands do that, and like it's very successful for them. And I definitely have seen like some of the retail shops that carry some of my stuff do that. It's been very successful. I just don't have the energy. It's a lot of production, and like even doing something like this today, like it's a lot of my time today to do this, and then I really should probably be sewing. Like I'm happy to be here. I don't want to like discredit that. Like
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like behind this curtain is a disaster because I just came back from a trip and I'm like unpacking still. So like I love the concept, and I do think there is room for success there. I just personally I don't think I have the energy to make that kind of content.
Fair.
I didn't realize the question was, do you want to run any brand QVC? Because no.
Yeah. I'm very grateful to have my stuff being carried in a couple, like Crochet Kawaii does like some of those Instagram things. They do that for me. I won't have to, and I'm so grateful. Thank goodness somebody wants
You're always a disaster.
Those streets are so fun to watch.
I've never like considered doing one, but now I'm like, I kind of maybe want to try.
I bet you'd be really fun. People love you. So like,
I have a friend who makes jewelry, and she does live sales once a week, and she's able to hire employees.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she does like a live sale for like an hour every Sunday, and like sells out her stuff.
One of the things I have started doing that was like not specifically related to J fashion is I have been doing streaming more, because one of the things I got into before the Panda Express was I started doing more like LARPing and like tabletop role-playing games.
Yeah.
So I do participate in a streamed game that is like, it's actually pre-recorded. Some people do them live, but we do ours like ahead of time and then it gets edited. But we even talked about me doing a show on that channel. I just read The Wind in the Willows. Oh, because I like little animals.
That's so precious. I would love it.
That's what Moss Badger.
That would be
is
amazing.
For.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and then like I've been trying to get my Patreon kind of settled.
Right.
And I was watching this YouTube video about like, you know, things you can offer as tiers, and one of them was like, you know, live streams. And then I was like, what I could do live streams about, like I could do Q&As about like how you make a LARP costume, or like, you know, Lolita stuff or whatever. And like maybe I could do like a QV. I mean, I watch QVC so like, you know, it would be kind of funny.
I mean, I have a Patreon, and it really is what also helped float me through the pandemic. I had it beforehand, and it was maybe paying a third of my rent, and now it pays about half my rent. My studio rent.
Nice.
And the weird thing is, like, when I give stuff away, people like it. When I ask questions, people answer them. But when I offer like streams or watch parties or whatever, like, I don't think that the lower tier ones log in enough to engage. And like one right now I'm doing with Rachel True from The Craft. We're going to do a Q&A, and I'm like, ask me anything. And like, everyone's just like, that's really cool. And I'm like, that's not a question.
Right.
You guys.
Yeah, my Patreon has been a mess forever because I set it up and then like immediately got backed up on rewards, and then just like didn't charge anybody for like a year. Like every month I would just go in and be like, don't charge anybody, don't charge anybody. So I just finally like caught up and like sent out the things that were backed up and like got it to now I'm like, okay, starting fresh from now on. Thank you. it was basically just getting the whole sticker thing together. That was like
I mean,
whole
process.
process.
It's a perfect reward.
Yeah.
That's my most popular tier is my sticker tier. Everybody's either at the sticker tier or at the $1 tier just to like have access to the behind the scenes. And I am like, I've been so good. I've been so on top of it. And then in June, I ran out of stamps and I like, oh, I'll just go to the post office. I have yet to go to the post office. It's now July.
You know you can order stamps online.
I finally ordered the stamps online last week.
Oh my gosh.
So I am like a month behind, but everybody knows that they can just like, I'm like, hey guys, one person got their stickers because they ordered something else. I'm like, they're coming. I just ran out of stamps and you know, people are outside.
Little people. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty extroverted, like normally, so it's been tough last year, but I've managed to survive.
I don't think I would do video sales. I feel like I probably could, I guess, being like, oh yeah, like, hey, here's my stuff, or talk or do live streams that are just like, hey, I'm putting on makeup, but I find it so distracting. The audience there, yeah, like with doing that, I'm just like, oh, well, me putting on my makeup and my outfit is kind of really like private moment of quiet time, and also being like, oh, that didn't work out. Like, yeah, right. Just like, no, I'm not doing that. So I don't feel like I have that total like performance personality. I don't think I feel like, I guess, as fulfilled by that. So even though I feel like I have, I guess, I would have something to offer on that sort of spectrum. So I feel like I will probably lean more heavily into just doing more creative work rather than like being more influency. I think I did that for a while to gain the following that I have now. But now I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be an influencer. I want to be an artist.
Be a creator.
Right. So I'm just like, oh, I feel like I need to like lean more into that. So I feel like that's probably a reason why I probably wouldn't go into like video sales and more like video work or something like that.
I want to do both.
Yeah, you can. You totally can.
I would like to highlight this lovely Puvito that I am wearing that perfectly matches my Meta. I forget the name of this print. The one with the cats on it. But isn't this beautiful?
Oh yes, Meta cat print.
Available this weekend.
Oh my god!
I was about to ask if that was one of the new ones. Yes.
That's so funny. I think part of my problem is that I never have that much stock. Actually, that's been an interesting problem this whole last year. I don't know if anybody's been following any of my drops, but it's just been like, I buy. I'm like, set an alarm. If you don't
I know for everything. I saw that like, I think it was the kimono that was like the black, but then it had pastel little like
the border print.
Yeah, and I was just like, but I'm just like, I know I'm gonna lose.
That one actually managed to sit in the shop for a while. You could have probably snagged it. And there's gonna be one pink. There's gonna be one pink one as a made to order. So again, set your alarm. Yeah, it's been crazy. So I'm like, I don't know if I could even do the live sales thing. I don't even need product right now. I got like really old stuff, and that's it. Right?
It'd be more like an auction. We got.
I know, like who wants the bid? Like, yeah, it's a little insane. Oh man. Yeah, I'm working on doing a little production this year, so I can have a little bit more stock, especially because I'm doing a lot. So like, my stuff's in Kuroshiro-kawaii. My stuff's supposed to be going to Flores Astorum as well, so it'll be in Japan. Nice. And then I'm supposed to be doing a couple of like in-person stuff. We'll get to that when we get to the in-person questions. But yeah, so it's just like, I need to have stock for all these things. What am I doing? So, but I guess I haven't answered the question of like how this last year has been different. Yeah, I'm not very like particularly forward facing, so I guess this is probably the most that people have like gotten to know me outside of those who know me. I much more interact with like other brands. That's usually the way I like the most is talking to my peers. I think that's really valuable and interesting, and that's my favorite thing to do. It's not that I don't love all of you out there. I'm just a little bit more of a like kind of private person, so I think this has been very different in terms of I'm the face of the Bay Area K, which I started this year with an amazing team. We're just wonderful people who wanted to get into this crazy, nonsense of running events with me. I was surprised. I thought it was just going to be me and one other person who likes to do this stuff, but they were, oh no, I'll help. Like, I've like put a little post on my personal Facebook wall being like, hey, I really could use help like producing video ads because I really hate, video editing. And then, I get people who are like, oh, I do that for work. So like, no problem. I have all the software. We've had amazing people just jump in on that kind of stuff. And I'm truly shocked and blessed and amazed. And so that's been really cool to kind of, I guess, get a little bit closer with my local comm. And I'm like, this is like a really weird, like, kind of like a sob story a little bit. When I moved out here, one of my best friends passed away shortly, like, after I moved here. And she was like the person I hung out with in Lolita, like the person. And so it was really hard for me, like, to really want to, like, get close to a community again when I moved here. It took me a while to like get close to a lot of like the local Lolitas because of that, because it just was like such a thing that like that was something I shared with that person.
Right.
So yeah, it's been a long time since I've really felt connected to a Lolita community, and it's been a really great experience last year, kind of getting closer to everybody in that way. So I'm thankful for that.
Sorry for your loss, but I'm glad that you got to connect.
I mean, it's been a long time. Like somebody posted, it's been like 7 years. At this point, it's really surprising it's been that long. But it took me, like I said, like 5 or 7 years to really, like, I was still designing Lolita. I didn't wear it almost at all. It just really was a big disconnect for me for a long time. So it's been great for me to kind of get closer again to Lolitas. So. Yeah. Don't know that I would have done as much as I have if it hadn't been for this opportunity. So it's nice. So if we want to talk a little bit more, because we started talking about in-person stuff, are there any in-person events that you are looking forward to? I know Dragon Con for you.
Am I looking forward to it? I don't know. Is it a thing I'm going to? Yes, I booked the flight. I'm going to be there. I'm planning all my stock. I'm working on cutting out all the things for that. August is dedicated to making Dragon Con stock.
Same. I'm not going to be there. My stuff is.
Yeah. I'm excited to try and go to BlurredCon and not have a panic attack being around people, so that I can do Dragon Con, which is 10 times large, 100 times larger. It's like 1,500 people event, 150,000 people event. If I can do one, I might be able to do the other, because I have to do the other one. But yeah, it's interesting because comms are also starting to do in-person events too. My comms talking about planning stuff again, and we'll see. For me, let's see.
Have anybody been to like have either hosted a meetup or been to a meetup since things have reopened a little bit? Anybody?
Nope. I've been in my house.
I'm going to a 4th of July party on Sunday.
Okay, yeah. I'm like
really day party with 6 people.
Yeah, I mean, we're super spoiled in the Bay Area. We have like an 80% vaccination rate. 70. Yeah, but we've been here for like a long time, so like we've. Like on our comm, I wrote the rules for what we were gonna how you were allowed to do our meetups locally, and like we are very strict about the rules. So we've actually been having meetups since they reopened, like outside. There have been like mostly outdoors, parks. It's been good weather here, so I've been to a few. It's kind of crazy. It feels really weird.
Yeah.
And I really went from like hiding in my little hole to like every weekend is booked with something. So it's been a real weird whiplash for me the last few weeks.
I think I had like one friend that's like into Garu, and we still, I don't know, yeah, we've met up a couple times or whatever, but it hasn't been like, I guess what I would say is a meet sort of deal. I think the first thing that's going to be kind of like that is there's the Bristol Renaissance Fair, and they're having their pirate weekend in August. And I'm looking forward to going to the Pirate Weekend and, you know, being in my excuse to wear Lolita LARP character, I guess, Princess Ahoy. And that's gonna be that's gonna be like my deal. And then if anything, I got like Taobao dresses that I'm just like, I don't even, where am I wearing these to? What is this for? It's just like, it's just because. So cool.
What you want.
Yeah, exactly. So I have that. There's Evermore that reopened, and that's in Utah. And they're kind of like
reopened.
Huh?
I didn't know they reopened.
Yes, they did after all the drama.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Okay.
They did, and people have been seeming like they're enjoying it. And I'm just like, all right, if you guys are still around later in the year, maybe I'll go for a visit there. But I don't have any like conventions that I'm like thinking about doing unless they're next year or something like that. So I'm probably just going to keep a lookout there.
Yeah, I don't know if I can handle a convention yet. Like it's funny because I've pretty much stayed in my house this whole time. I have gotten my groceries delivered. I've had to go into work like 2 days a month, and that's it.
Wow.
But I not accidentally, but like that streamed game that I do, one day we were all pretty much ready, makeup on and everything, and then somebody had to cancel last minute. So one of the people is local, and they were like, even though we hadn't actually hung out in person yet, they were like, hey, you said you wanted to go to IKEA. Do you want to go to IKEA today? So I randomly went to IKEA on a Saturday.
Oh, that's a lot.
And it was like a month ago. It was like things had just kind of started to open up. And I was like, okay, I guess this is like, what is that therapy where you like just sort of dive in?
Therapy.
Yeah. And like, you know, I was so distracted because I love IKEA that I didn't freak out. But I feel like if I had thought about what I was doing, I would have totally freaked out because, I don't know. But I do have 2 LARPs, one in October and one in January. But I don't have any convention scheduled. My stuff will be at Dragon Con, but I will not. I have never been to Dragon Con, and I feel like this is not the year to start.
You would hate it.
Not this year.
No. Jordana, I remember Anime Expo. I remember Anime Expo. It's kind of like Anime Expo, but except in one building. It's in 5 buildings and all of Atlanta.
But at least it's not hot.
Too many people.
Well, it's not always that hot. It's not as hot as it's not as hot. It's not as hot as LA was, be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. that was the worst. That was awful. I was there too. Like 97.
We're getting off, but like Anime Expo was a whole experience that just kind of exists in my memory, but I don't remember much of it. There's like literally one thing I remember, and it's Jordana walking in saying they're gonna run out of anime.
Is that where I ran into you, Haley?
What?
Is that the one where I ran into you?
No, that
Anime
Expo was Fanime.
It was either the one in LA or the one in San Jose.
I think it was Fanime, which is in San Jose.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I saw you. I barely was at. I was there, but I was like support. I
have never seen so many people, and it was just like there's just too many. Just too much, too many weebs, too much everything. It was just too many bodies.
The last Anime Expo as a model for. Oh wait, no, the last one I was actually doing. I was on OK Podcast Business of just like I was there as press, and me and Hayden, my co-host, we were trying to get through Artist Alley, and it was literally body to body trying to get. We were just like, "What is this? We can't even see the artists of Artist Alley. We're getting out. I gotta get out of here."
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
I mean, so like wall anime expos like that, like wall to wall all the time. Like, there's places at Dragon Con you can go, and like I think the panels and like the music stuff is a lot more chill. I know we're just like comparing cons right now, but like in my opinion, like I tried to find a panel that I even wanted to go to because I was like, I'm at Anime Expo, I'm gonna go see a panel. I couldn't even find anything I wanted to see. And like finding the places where they were, I did not.
It gets more complicated each year. It's just like, well, now you have an ID card, a special hat you need to wear, and then a scanner. That
I know. And the line for that con, I felt so bad for these people because, like I said, it was like 97 blazing LA desert ass sun, and
like I don't know how I would go as a regular person.
They were waiting in line for like 8 hours out in that fucking sun. It was ridiculous. So yeah, Dragon Con's got its shit together at least. Like.
I don't know if I just went on a year that wasn't like just that pressed, but like, yes, it was hot and you could feel the distinct difference between being inside and being outside and walking back through the wall of cold meets hot. But like, I never felt claustrophobic in it. And I generally don't, but when there's a bunch of like nerds that don't know where they're going and they're just kind of like looking everywhere, there wasn't really that.
Every time.
That was like 2017, I think. And I didn't think it was that bad. Like, parts of San Diego Comic-Con were worse.
I definitely think.
I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad.
The first time I went, it didn't feel like it was that crazy. But it's just the last time I went, I'm just like, gosh, it's just getting more and more like, what is going on here? I think it's just the growth, the amount of people. It's out of control.
Well,
I'm not doing conventions till next year, and I mean, there's only the handful that I go to, and they're the ones my friends go to. So, like, one of them is TeslaCon, because it's like a family reunion, and it's little, and like we all know each other, and we've known each other for over a decade. So it's just like, yay! It's the one place that we all get to like just be around each other. And then I want to go to BlurredCon again. I wanted to go last year.
I want to check that out. I really do.
Me too.
I went in 2019 because obviously there wasn't a 2020, and it was like such good energy at the place. And obviously I was super into the fact that the artist I was super gay as well as also almost every artist that was there was a POC, and that combination is just something that is really lacking in the anime community, which is the whole reason why that con exists. And I'm so like it is. So much fun. It's like it is a party con without being like a hard party con, like how Dragon Con is a hard party. They party hard.
Party all day.
It felt rated PG, and that was so cute.
I want to go to a
BlurredCon is like
party.
a dance party. BlurredCon's like a dance party, and Dragon Con's like a college party, except everybody's over 30.
You're not wrong. I wish I could deny this, but you're not wrong. It's a lot.
It's just a lot. It's just a lot.
Well, I was just going to ask if it, so I do know, like, in terms of like strictly Lolita events, we got Royal Vegas coming up. Nobody else here is doing that. No. Okay, I'm just curious. Trying to think of.
I only have one in-person event this year, and it's the Collective, which is the show I'm doing.
I guess that's
I've seen you start post teasers for that. I'm very excited.
And it's both virtual and in person. So that'll be in October.
Nice. I'm working on a secret October in-person event. It's only secret because we haven't booked the venue. But I'll be posting about it. So, designer friends, check my Facebook. Well, we'll talk. But yeah, it's going to be in North Carolina, but we have not been able to secure a venue yet because our original venue closed. So, yeah. Well, I don't know if they closed or they just got cold feet about booking things because, the husband, that didn't pan out. So we made a pitch, but we'll see if they will accept us. So keep an eye out for further information on all that. And then we're going to do, of course, our holiday pop-up shop here in SF. Since we've been so good and so well behaved, we deserve a little tiny pat in the back. So we're going to do that. And then I applied to Anime New York, guys. I don't know. I'm insane.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get in, but we'll see. That's at the same time as Royal Vegas. So if I do get in, what's gonna happen is one of my like locals is gonna rep for me at Royal Vegas, and I will be personally at Anime New York. So back on the road.
On the road again.
Maybe next year. I've never. Well, that's not true. Other than RuffleCon and like, shoot, what was it called in Atlanta? Frill. I have, and even Frill was like with other people. It wasn't like I had my own table. Like I've literally only done like the only thing I've done as my own brand without the like Lolita Collective was like that 1 year at RuffleCon. So like for me, like going to an in-person event, it would be like weird anyway. So it's something for me to consider maybe like next year. In the second half of next year, maybe I could do an in-person event and see how it goes. You know,
me and Poovy applied for KatsuCon, so we might do that. I will be at KatsuCon whether or not we get in, just because it's local to me and I always do their fashion show. It's like my kickoff of the year, you know, throw all my eggs into this fashion show basket kind of thing. Which was funny because usually that's my banner for the website for the year, and so I didn't have one for 2020.
Oh yeah, that's same for me for the Fanime. Same deal. Mine's the same. Older photo.
Oh, it just updated for this weekend, but
oh, good for you.
Yeah. I finally had I had all vaccinated models to photo shoot the release that I'm doing this weekend for Purgatorio. So
nice. I'm gonna segue here into some kind of like more fun questions. Do you have any like upcoming projects or releases that you're very excited about and want to talk about with everyone? Anybody want to like tease what they're doing? Opportunity.
This weekend I am technically releasing 2 collections because one of them is a collaboration. My shop is releasing what I have decided to call the Midsummer Magic series, which was inspired by gender fluidity. I gotta be upfront, I only finished half of my planned garments for the release, but ain't that just the way? So I've got like pieces, several different pieces that can be mixed and matched to be more masculine or feminine, depending on how the person IDs or wants to present themselves. And those will be going up tomorrow at noon. And then Poovy is releasing round 2 of Dogs and Desserts, and I will be making Dogs and Desserts until December, most likely, because that's what I've already been doing for the past 3 months, and that's what I'll probably be doing.
Dogs and Desserts for the rest of your life.
I mean, no, this is it. We have to, like, our fabric printer changed minimum order quantities on us. So what I decided to do, because I joke that Poovy gives me too much creative freedom, and then Poovy herself literally was like, I give Lena too much creative freedom, because I decided to make new samples, which are the skirt and the shorts that are a part of the salopettes, because it's got a bib, and I just made it without the bib. And then I also was like, okay, but what if I made palazzo pants? And all of those are also a part of the release this weekend, and there's higher quantities for those because the bib literally takes me as long to make as a pair of pants.
Jeez, it's always so much. You don't think about it till you get into it. You're like, oh, this is just too much detail. Why did I do this? All of my aprons.
Not having conventions meant I had time to do detailed garments, right? So, yeah. I also have crazy stuff planned for any Dogs and Desserts fabric left over will be made into other stock that we are planning to have for Techo. Keyword is planning. And Poovy is planning a big fashion show for that, and I'll be doing some more one-offs for the fashion show. I may have 2 days ago in the middle of the night messaged her. It was like, okay, Dogs and Desserts, but what if I made a wedding dress?
What if? Well, what if? Oh my god. I can't wait to feel this nonsense. Can't wait. I'm very here for it.
So we'll see. But yeah, Poovy's like splitting the release for Dogs and Desserts. It's technically on Poovy's website, but I am the producer of all of the things, and I designed all of the garments that are in the release. It's just Poovy's print. Those are going to be split into 2 different releases, some today, some tomorrow.
Nice.
And then if there's stuff left over after this weekend, we're going to be doing hard promotion on our YouTube and our streaming and the Instagrams.
Oh, yeah.
My collection that I'm releasing, the Midsummer Magic stuff, is very limited because dogs and desserts is a thing.
All your time.
Yeah. Yeah, I am one person with 4 sewing machines, but...
You know, you should make a wedding dress for a dog wedding.
You know...
Oh my god.
I've done that.
Oh my
I believe you.
Do it.
And then I get it for my cats, and it's just like, yes, cats are even wearing dogs and desserts.
Oh my god.
You have said...
Oh, we lost it.
Okay. I was like, oh no, my internet.
Too powerful.
So the wedding dress will be made likely in Poovy size because dogs and desserts. And then now that you've said it, I have to make a groomsman outfit for Pi, her dog, who is on the print.
Yep.
For the photo shoot. Wow.
Well, you know.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Anytime, right? That's what we're all here for, is to bounce creative ideas off of each other.
Love it.
Anybody else got something on the burner they want to share? A little sneaky secret?
I have something.
Ooh.
I applied to an event and got in to my surprise.
Oh.
It's a virtual event, but it is called the Mortals Market. Because apparently I am actually goth. Even though
I told you.
I keep saying, well, if anybody looked at my closet, especially anything I bought during the pandemonium, they will take my card away because I have bought a series of multicolored nonsense, just like rainbow, ombre, that
was your
with
therapy.
The ombre clouds and the plastic cat eyes on it, just like nonsense.
Same.
But apparently my brand is still goth enough. So yeah, Mortals Market is a death positive market.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So a lot of the stuff that will be sold is like mourning themed. But it's September 18th and 19th. It'll be all online. You can go to my Instagram and there's a post about it, and I'll be posting more about it because it's still a little bit away. But I'm trying to make stuff ahead for that and for Dragon Con, which I kind of like. She's like, Dragon Con is a thing and you better have, because I have like the mountain. All I did the past year was make earrings. So I have like a mountain of earrings. But there are other things I can make besides earrings.
I like the corn ones.
The corn ones were born of a decision made while not entirely sober.
That's fun, right? I'm here for corn.
I was like, this is funny. And then they came and I was like, why the hell did I buy these? And then I looked at them and I'm like, well, they're kind of big. And then I have these bows that were too big for the other earrings. And now I kind of love them. And they're like my favorite earrings that I've made.
I love these accidents. I always forget what I order from. I buy a lot of my fabric from Japanese vendors, and it takes they boat it over here, so it takes months and months before I see my fabric, and I don't keep those invoices handy. I just file them and they're gone from my existence. But, I open the box every time, and I'm like, what the? Was I smoking when I bought this? What? So I have I bought some nigiri fabric. I don't know. Whatever. I'm very excited to open these boxes because it's just a mystery to me. So that's fun when they work out. I'm glad the corn was a good decision for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have happy accidents. When we have the Mystic Tarot, or the not Mystic Tarot, the Wandering Spirit. Tarot. Yes, we can talk about how Mystic Tarot itself was basically the result of me not knowing what the heck I was doing, and making a giant accident, and then being like, "Let's just go with it." I mean, according to my parents, I was a happy accident. So
yeah, we talked about that during your rock box a little bit. So yeah, I totally know.
Yeah. Surprise! You're actually not infertile.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
So I have stuff coming up. So real quick, I saw somebody was like, the dog wedding dress that I can't not tell the story. A couple of years ago, my dog was invited to be a celebrity dog at a dog wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, celebrity dog.
And so I made her a dress so that she could model a wedding dress in a dog wedding show.
Yay.
That's perfect. Oh my god.
People have a lot of money, and it's very weird what they do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. More power.
We
more
all
power to
know.
everybody. Good for them. Make them happy. It's fine.
The thing I have coming up is so the collective is a joint virtual and IRL show that is then being made into a reality show. And it's comprised of just people. So my fellow castmates from Project Runway and from other seasons of Runway, Next in Fashion, and Making the Cut. It's not a competition. It's kind of, I don't know if any of you have seen the show We're Here, where it's about drag queens that go to small towns and make a drag show to open people's eyes to like.
No, that sounds so cool.
That sounds amazing.
Okay, if you want to like happy cry and see just like it's different than Queer Eye in that it feels like slightly less manufactured, but it still makes you cry as much.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like that. We're going to Cincinnati, where they watch a lot of reality TV, but don't really have a fashion scene. So we are going to Cincinnati to make them a fashion week.
Oh, fun.
And so we're each presenting new collections, and we're kind of like documenting our journey coming out of the pandemic. So that's what this, you can see my sneak peek of all of my fabrics. Hold on, if I can, there we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my collection is one that I started designing before the panini, and it's called Heliopause, and it's high-end fancy outside pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It's going to be 1960s wife sitting by the pool in a soap opera, but make it a little goth.
I want to wear it.
So a lot of sheers, a lot of palazzo pants, exposed bras, lots of robes.
Palazzo pants are in.
Someone's face. We're custom making dramatic fans.
Ooh.
So we're oh my god, dramatic fans for everyone, and then and it's gonna be so over the top.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
No,
I've
that's
been
not
following
sober.
along a little bit. You're like your little teaser blurs. I see them all on Facebook. I'm like, what? I'm very excited about it.
And like, sadly, so it was supposed to happen at the end of this month, but our producer and host got diagnosed with breast cancer, so we postponed it until October so she can get treatment.
Yeah.
But keep following. All of us are posting teasers and updates every week. So
Yeah.
this will be my first new collection since 2019.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
That's super cool. I guess like the closest thing that's happening is through Emptying the Clips comic. We have I guess launched a pseudo holiday of International Decora Day.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
Mostly out of being like, every time International Lolita Day comes by twice a year, I'm just like, I should I'm gonna wear
Nice.
And like I never do anything, and then I'm just like, I wish there was, and so like and so me and Monique, who are a part of making Emptying the Clips comic, we were just like talking about like, yeah, we'll like try to make something for International Lolita Day or something, and then it was just like, yeah, it's sort of hard for that day. I wish there was like an international like Decora Day thing. And so Monique was like, yeah, we got to do that. We got to do International Decora Day and stuff like that. And so we're just like, okay, add this on to the other piles of things we're trying to do, including raise a child on Monique's end. And
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. But we're trying to not like I guess we could have done a whole thing of like, we're gonna make a International Decora Day page, and then we're gonna make all these events, and like we were just like, no, we're gonna do this real simple. You know, first year just like almost like an awareness interest check sort of deal. And yeah, so we started making posts. We made a collaboration logo for it, and we made a post on Instagram, on the Emptying the Clips profile, and it seems like people are really interested. And then I'm sharing it on my Hard Decora Instagram as well. And then once we have the translated graphics, we're going to be sharing it on the Facebook groups, because I know there's like the International Fairy K and Decora Facebook group and stuff like that. So yeah, so we're doing that, and just seeing the shares and people being like, I'm really excited for this, or I'm going to draw my character in Decora. And it's like, wow, that's so cool. Like,
I mean, cool.
Yeah. And I'm
What's
just like,
the day?
The day is, well, every year it will be the last Saturday of July. And this year that is 7/31. So the 31st. Perfect. Will be, you know, International Decora Day. And we definitely want it to be a day of, I don't want it to be an intimidating day of just like, yep, all the veterans of Decora, we just wear our outfits and just be like, yep, we're so good at this. Yep. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be seen as an opportunity to get into Decora. I know it can seem almost more intimidating than a lot of the other fashions, just because there's lots of colors and patterns and there's not a lot of rules, but you feel somehow you could still do it wrong. And yeah, and I feel like, oh, okay. Yeah, I just want people to like get into it and everything like that. So we made a celebrations idea graphic that I think a few days ago I just posted on Emptying the Clips and my profile too. And yeah, and just like giving people ideas on how to just like spread the news, spread the good news of Decora.
Spread the good word.
Yeah, spread the good word.
Share the accessories. Yes,
and I'm sure there's people that are like, I know there's like this whole kidcore versus Decora debate, debacle, confusion.
Labels forever, guys.
Right, yeah. And so I'm just like, this would be a good time to just be like, hey, Decora is a thing, and we're doing it, and it's different from this kidcore thing, and this is how, and yeah, don't forget. So yeah, so that's kind of the soonest major thing that's like kind of Hard Decora brand related, I guess. One of my projects. And then I guess further off is me turning the Hard Decora comic into a monthly webtoon with an attached Patreon. Yeah, so I'm like, it's very weird for me because I feel like, oh, I'm like going from being like fashion influencer to being like, I'm going to be an illustrator. And I'm just like, yes, that's what I've been the entire time. But I haven't really focused on that. It was kind of like the clothes and the accessories and stuff like that kind of took off first. And then I was just like, I'm not that good at drawing comics anyway. And now I'm like, I'm good enough now. I'm good enough. Yeah, so I've already changed over the printed comic into webtoon vertical scrolling format, and now I'm on doing the inking the next new chapter, which is new work and everything like that. And I'm looking forward to later this year being able to put it up as a webtoon, have it up monthly, have a Patreon that I update and do things. I'd love to hear about how not to fall behind on it, but I'm creating as much of a buffer as possible. And as far as like conventions next year, I'm looking into actually attending a few indie comics expos. They're not having any this year, so I couldn't even try for anything. But next year, there's some that happen in Chicago, of course. Like there's Chicago Zine Fest, which I will try for, and hopefully Emptying the Clips will also have a zine, physical zine format too. And looking at Mice Expo as well, which has a grant and stuff that me and Monique are going to be trying for. And yeah, so you're going to be trying comics expos and really delving into that world. Of course, all the work is still going to be J fashion related. Hard Decora is about a girl trying to join a J fashion girl gang. And there's going to be a lot of poking fun at the cultures of different styles in that. So
Excellent.
I will definitely be using all of my previous convention fashion meet experience in that. And of course, I'll still have some fashion releases, but the comic is most likely going to be my focus until I feel, okay, I feel fine doing this comic once a month and not overwhelmed.
Nice. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're going to do the Decora Day, in part because International Lolita Day was started by a person in the Chicago Lolita community.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And look how far it's come. But even, like, look how far, like, Black Fae Day came in, like, a year.
That was amazing.
Yeah, in, like, a year.
I loved that.
Yeah. I mean, though, but that was, like, Twitter. And I'm just like, I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it.
fun.
You don't have to be the one on Twitter. You just sort of send it out there, and then other people who are on Twitter, like, pick it up and run with it, you know?
Hopefully. Yeah. Anybody on Twitter that wants to spread out the good word of Decora Day, please do. I don't plan on, me and Monique don't plan on being like, we own this day and we copyrighted the name International Decora Day. We're not doing any of that. We definitely want this to just something that we give the community.
Awesome.
Love it.
That's
Good
awesome.
energy.
Yeah.
Black Vampire Day is coming up.
Oh shit.
No, that's super
Yeah.
good too.
I love all the Black fantasy stuff. That's so good.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
I
it
love to
is.
see representation. And I just love, like, scrolling through my feed and being like, yes. Okay.
I
Yeah, the
steal some
ones-
of you guys' photos for like I'm sketching this just as like me getting used to sketching different styles. You guys are in my sketchbook.
Yeah, the game that streamed game that I play, it's based on Neverland from Peter Pan. So some of us had to go meet the fairies, and the person that runs the game like used we each have our own fairy, spoiler alert. And he used like images. He found people from Black Fae Day to be like our fairies, and the fairies in the like Neverland fairy worlds.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, so good. So good.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Oh.
Cuties.
A contest who has the most candy. It'd be great.
Good idea. Smart. The only thing I have coming up, obviously, like, I'm stocking up for Dragon Con. Ha ha ha, everyone. I'm supposed to be releasing some more socks, the old school socks. I actually just got a quote from my factory on sewing those, so I don't have to do it. So I should have a lot more stock, I hope. Fingers are crossed. And those will also go to Dragon Con. So you were expecting and hoping for more old school socks. Those are coming. And then the other thing that is going to get released, this is super secret that nobody knows about yet. I ended up with enough fabric to make one more one-off, completely different design, but same fabric as Cottage Cats, which was obsessive for a lot of people. So you heard it here first. There will be one more Cottage Cat skirt, but it will not be the same cut. But I know there are a lot of people who are like, are you ever going to? It's like, I don't have any more fabric. I have this much left, so I won't make the same skirt. But I will have one more cut of Cottage Cat. So gotta follow my Instagram. And when I say set your alarm, I'm not exaggerating. Please. Please. I always feel bad when people are like, I missed it. I'm like,
There's nothing I can do.
I said exactly like blah 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 am or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what color sock? Well, right now I have black. One of my sock vendors was clearancing out like a type of black knee-high sock. They're moving back to cotton. I think this is a bamboo. So it's even nicer quality than normal. And I got to buy out whatever stock they had. So I think I've got almost like 50 pair, like 48 pair of black knee-highs. So I'm going to do those kind of like half with white lace, half with black lace. And then I'm trying to find like a good quality white sock, and that's been a hard thing right this second because they end up being too thin. You know, you want to like have that like nice white coverage, and I cannot, for the life of me, find any ivory that don't suck. I just have not been able. I really want to do that because I know like a lot of the cottagecore kids, they want to have ivory. It's the main color. I don't know. I'm working on it. And as for maroon, I'm gonna look, but that when I polled people, that was unfortunately one of the lower ranking ones. I have a poll up still somewhere on my Facebook page. There was a link to a poll, and I'm probably gonna go with the most picked. Unfortunately, one of those was ivory. I don't know. I'm trying. I have yet to find a good ivory sock. So, but yeah, that's what's in the pipeline right now. Besides pre-orders that I'm gonna get fulfilled, I've got the watermelon skirt. I guess that's ending.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Monday. So there's still a few units left of the watermelon skirt, the suika. And then I'm trying to think. I guess old schools. There's going to be some leftover old school is in session dresses, the math dresses. There's going to be leftovers for sure. So if you're missed out on the pre-order, they are coming. Oh yeah, and the striped bow dress. I forgot that I even teased that at one point. I don't have a date on that, guys. I have the sample, don't have a date yet. We'll see about that because it's a scallop hem and those take so much time, and I'm not sending that to a factory. That's got to be me, and I have to have time for that. So maybe for Grammary.
Ooh.
That's a kind of like a little bit of like a Addams Family, Beetlejuice, black and white stripy vibe. So maybe that'll be a good Grammary release. So. We'll see. Yeah. I was just gonna ask because it is summer. Are any of you guys taking a little summer break or a little vacation time at all, or are you just? Are we all just gonna be balls to the wall busy?
I am currently in a cabin in the Shenandoah National Forest.
Good for you.
I forgot.
Word break. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, so I'm going to pop out for just a second while you answer this, but I'll be right back.
I planned this a few months ago, and then I forgot this event existed, and then I accepted because I don't know what dates are, and so I am here, but I'm also like... I'm here. I'm here. You guys can't even see
the cottagecore
view. I posted an Instagram story of what the view is like directly in front of me, and then there's also a hot tub right there. So I know immediately after this, I'm jumping in the hot tub.
Nice.
Heavenly.
Yeah, we planned this, like I said, months ago, and I've been trying to be good to myself, and like every month or two, just leave the house for, if not the weekend, like take a midweek break because my partner has too much PTO and doesn't have anything to do with it. So I've been really good to myself about that. But as soon as I get home, I have a release that sold out back in, oh my gosh, April, something like that. And I've got everything half done because I had to put it aside to work on Dogs and Desserts because that pre-order was in March. Right, so Dogs and Desserts round 1 is done. Poofy has all of them, plus all the samples that are going up this weekend. And then I'm more than halfway done with all of the Sapphire Blossoms, but those are in the works. But that's not vacation.
Welcome back.
I took yesterday and today off of work.
Good.
Specifically because it was unseasonably cool yesterday and today. And my sewing room in my apartment is a series of piles. And I needed to organize and clean it. And it's like, I only have air conditioning in my bedroom. So I was like, all right. So I spent yesterday and all of today until I had to get ready for this, like cleaning, sorting, I have a lot of fabric to get rid of. So I don't know if anybody needs any fabric, but
Oh gosh.
yeah, so
Need is a strong word.
so I can, well, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm setting up a shipment table because I've been shipping so much stuff out, and I'm like, okay, why don't I just have I just bought one of those cheap IKEA desks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm making space for it by getting rid of a lot of piles. So
good.
That's my vacation.
I'm going to a cabin next weekend. It was a whim. A friend invited us. Nice. That's what we do in Minnesota, the Midwest. It's cabins. So we're going to go to the lake. The last time we were at this cabin was literally the week of the uprising. And there was a Trump house on the lake. It was like a 2-story house. And they like handmade a story high flag and stuck it on their house and like had them hang from their boats. That's choice. So my friend decided to be a good ally by playing I don't know if I can swear on this.
Which can?
Go ahead. What's that?
Go ahead, by all means.
No, she was just like, I think that it's important for us to just blast "fuck the police" while we go in front of their cabin a bunch.
Yes.
And I was like, that's how you ally.
Yes.
so this year she's like, you know what? I think it's going to be a yearly tradition. I got a BLM flag, but it's a really gay one. And then I got another flag that I'm putting on the other side of the boat. And that's what we're doing. And I was like, I'm so excited. So that, and then when I get back, since Collective got postponed, all I have to do right now is make a wedding dress. So I'm going to clean once they fix the window in my other room that I've been trying to get them to fix for 2 months.
Oh my God.
It's too hot. I can't film in there. My makeup melts off.
Oh my God.
Like, I can't, because I've got one working window, but it only opens 10 inches.
Oh, God.
Neat.
So that's what I've got going on.
Kamila, taking a break?
I mean, I don't know. I've taken a break in some ways from like social media. I've been like not posting as often and on like a purposeful way and not in a, I'm so sorry everyone, I haven't posted in this amount of time. I'm just like, no, I have purposefully not done this. I plan on after International Decora Day, being like really into working on getting all the promotional material and stuff ready for launching the webtoon. It's only because like, okay, with me being like, oh, I'm being influencer / clothes. It's been like my social media plan has been, oh, I'm going to take pictures of myself every time I get dressed up. And now I'm kind of just like, I'm so tired of always having to like take a picture of myself every time or changing regular events into content creation events. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. But that also means I don't have a lot of content for me having an more illustration focused account. So I'm just like, all right, I'm going to take some time to create all that content rather than being like, at the same time as creating this content, I need to be putting out content. And that's just going to be too much. So, so after Decora Day, I'm probably not going to post until I'm ready to launch the webtoon, and the Patreon. And then after that, have a schedule of whenever I have something to say or an outfit that I do want to post, I will be posting that and updates about the comic and, you know, when those things are going up, when Patreon things are going up. But I think I'm going to stop being like, okay, every day there needs to be something, and changing every outfit moment into what part of this can I make into content, sort of habit. So I will be, I guess, taking a break from social media in a way. And then if I do get to have a vacation somewhere that would probably be the Evermore trip, which would be just a weekend out in Utah and going to this really chill, I guess, kind of LARP park. I don't know. And yeah, and dressing up as Princess Ahoy a bunch of times.
Love it.
Love it.
So I'm going to open it up. Actually, I had another silly question, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to open it up to our last 10 minutes. I can't believe we've gone through it that fast. To Q&A for people. So if you guys have some questions you want to ask the individual designers or you know, all of us at once, feel free, drop it in the chat. And while that's happening, I'm just gonna take a quick second to thank everybody for being here. Both the viewers, but also all of you guys. Like I mentioned earlier, this does take time out of our day, and I respect and appreciate you guys making time for us. So thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Poovy did most of the legwork, but I'm happy to help moderate because I know we've got a lot of stuff on the table. Yeah. Getting the rest of this weekend off the ground. Everyone's brand name and handle. Can we drop those guys in the chat? I think you should have our names, but it's Agato Designs, Samantha Ray, Moss Badger, The Black Ribbon, and Hard Decora. And somebody I hopefully can drop our social medias in the chat. If not, I will get on it in a second. Let me see. Making sure.
Oh yeah, Poovy has dropped it in the chat.
Good name.
All of our names, but
I'm Moss Badger pretty much everywhere on the internet, so
yeah. I think if you search Agato Designs, you'll find all of my things, plus one of my other things.
A little weird because like people forget the part of my name, and then it gets like not blackrribbon.com, guys. The Black Ribbon.
The Black Ribbon.
We have a question.
Yes. Has the Pangea changed what designs, motifs, colorways you're creating in? The global Pangea,
I think
I
haven't changed like colors, but I've made some more like, I don't know, kind of like angry, sad stuff, I guess. So I made like tired pom-pom beanies. I've made the fed up hoodies.
I'm escaping the sun, sorry.
It's okay. And then I've made the Worry Don't Be Happy release most recently. And I don't feel like, I want to say that I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm just influenced by the pandemic. But it's kind of just like, I don't know, just things going on in the world, like not even just the pandemic, just like having Trump as a president and all this other bullshit that happened. Kind of just, you know, awaken some more like, you know, mad feelings. But also like, Worry Don't Be Happy is kind of just like an expression of like my generalized anxiety disorder of just like, oh, I like constantly see that as like an invasive thought rather than the opposite, and I just wanted to like, I don't know, make a design about that.
I've definitely changed my designs because instead of making literally the exact same JSK pattern, cookie cuttered on repeats in a few different sizes, I've been doing more detailed garments because I can. I actually, like for this weekend, I did a whole new pattern. I did the vest guy that is dropping, and just having the time to do that because we've been in the Pythagorean theorem has been really great.
You guys are so good at making up these words, getting these other words.
I have a lot of practice. I have like 30 of them in my back pocket.
Oh my god.
I feel like my reaction to the panna cotta has been to just make increasingly goofy stickers. Like I don't think I've teased them that much except on my personal Facebook, but I just putting like, you know, weird old Vine memes on like a Victorian cat, and I'm like, here, I made a product. It doesn't make
They're very good though.
They're funny.
They're very good.
Thanks. Because I mean, I just was like, one day I was like, remember that Vine? He needs some milk. That should be a sticker. Like, okay, like, and it's like the things that come to me at like 3 a.m. when I should be sleeping, but I'm too like anxious to actually be sleeping.
Mood.
Anxiety.
That's why I'm making the wedding dress. I thought of that at 3 a.m.
I was already for the last couple of years in that kind of like leaning hard into the darkness. And that's why I took time off. I was like, maybe you need to get your head right since you're making so much passion about it. And then being in the Panda Lamp made me realize that I had to just kind of like revel in it without forcing myself to make stuff. So I didn't go back to the designs until I was like, you're fine. You have the tools now to start digging out of this, make fashion about it.
Only thing I think I've really done that's a little bit different is like try and make things that are more comfy, because I know, you know, trigger warning weight talk. I know I put on a few pounds. And like none of my Lolita fits anymore, so it is what it is. And I think everybody should be kind to themselves and not wear uncomfortable things. So I've been putting, like, you know, I made a lot of like fully shirred skirts this year. Probably going to keep doing that the rest of this year. And you know, I've always tried to be size inclusive as possible. But yeah, that's definitely the only thing I think I really feel like I've changed, because I buy fabric in bulk and then it's just here, and then I have to like use it eventually. So I'm just going through what I have. So it's you know, I bought all this fabric, you know, years back at this point. So that's I think the only thing I think of really changed. I haven't really done like a lot of motifs. I just like looked at my stuff. I did a pretty cohesive collection for Ursa Major. I was like, wow, I apparently really like black and white stripes, you guys. As I keep buying them. So I just went through and like grabbed all of that out. I just, you know, that's my biggest thing, is I have tons of fabric laying around. So the next question we got is, everyone's been indoors thanks to the pineapple. Have you been doing anything fun to give yourself an occasion to dress up?
This.
Yeah, I was like, this.
Like this. Yeah.
I started a YouTube for no reason. I don't even have like consistent content. I just make things and I put it on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah, stuff like this. Also, I guess I like planned something for International Decora Day. Just stuff like that. I think the last cool outfit I did was me trying to combine 80s aesthetic and Decora together. Like, what if Decora like had its rise in the 80s? And I really liked that photo set. Whenever now there's like a new account being made and it's just like, what's going to be your profile picture? I'm just like, that one. So yeah, Synth Pop K.
Synth Pop K, I'm here for it. I think I did like a very 90s print skirt and JSK for somebody. I had like one, not a bulb, but like I bought like 5 yards or something. So I love to see like weird prints in Lolita silhouettes. Like that's one of my favorite things to do. I love it.
I mean, I don't know. Also like going, I don't know, regular places, but for like the first time. So it's just like, oh my God, we're going to the movies. Someone bought out a theater so that we can go. And it's just like, okay, cool. I'm going to wear an outfit. And I don't dress up like all the way, but it's like just experimenting with those other levels of, I guess, Decora-ness or OTT-ness. OTT to the regular world, regular to you.
All right, we got time for one last question here. We can go a little bit over, but this is the last one I'm going to take from the audience. How do you feel about people when you take off their masks? I'm personally planning on making cute masks to wear all year next year. Anybody have thoughts on masks?
I mean, I'm making clients in person again, so I have it on my website that you have to prove to me that you're vaccinated or I'm not seeing you in person. So I'm still doing virtual stuff. If they're not vaccinated, I won't have them in my space. But I am starting to go some places and not wear a mask. And those places are small fabric stores that are owned by people I know, and so I know they're all vaccinated, and they usually have like 3 people shopping, or eating on a patio. Like I went on a date with my husband for the first time since March of last year, and we ate on the patio, and I didn't feel unsafe, but I'm not going to go to the grocery store. I don't trust those people.
Yeah.
I have like 30 or 40 new masks, and that's part of my regular wardrobe now. I carry my vaccination card with me everywhere I go, just because I'd rather have it than not. And I don't trust people. I had trust issues before the panini, but post, it's worse. People.
Definitely still wearing it in all the stores. And then like I'm vaccinated, but who knows if other people there are or need the protection of it. So I'm just like, yeah, I guess I'll wear the mask or whatever. And I like this. I end up liking disposable ones because they're more breathable. I did get a part-time job as a caricature artist at the Brookfield Zoo. And and I'm just like, yes, this is way better for being outside in the heat under just an umbrella. But yeah.
I may or may not be working on a mask project for another brand that's not been announced that I know of, so I'm going to keep that a little bit. So there's still masks being made, and it's pretty safe here, but I still like to wear one out, and a lot of people here still do it, even though like we're really fucking safe. It's really funny. Like we're like, one of the safest places in the country, but we're still very like, this is how we got here. Okay. Like this is why we're so safe. So we're still like very much sticking to it.
Well, I'm hoping that winter is going to show that people will start wearing masks again, because it's COVID season. And going back to
season, all of it.
Yeah.
I didn't get sick, guys, last year, so like of any sort. So I definitely still wear mine out when I go places. If we're in restaurants, we can eat indoors here, and I don't, when I'm eating. But I still keep them. I always have one in my pocket. I got a cute little Sumiko Garashi one from Daiso recently.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and I like the keeping my face warm. It's always cold here, right? So whenever I go on walks with my husband, it keeps my little nose warm at night because it gets down to like the 50s at night here all the time. So.
I have a bunch that are cut out that I'm just going to finish and have on hand just so that I'm ready. Because it's slowed down. I haven't had a mask order in 3 weeks. Whereas I was making hundreds a month. And so yay, that means that my clients are getting vaccinated. That's awesome. But also, oh man, now I got to figure out what to do.
I still have a bunch that I still have some up for sale on the Lolita Collective website, and I still have like a box of them that I never actually got uploaded. So I have to find if anybody is still taking donations that I can send them to. And then I made a bunch for I guess I'll use them for Patreon rewards, but I made a bunch with scraps of one of my silkscreen fabrics from a dress that people are always begging me to remake. And I'm like, well, I haven't remade that dress, but you can have a mask of it. So I don't know if I'm going to put them up for sale on my website or just use them for Patreon or what. But
I did the fancy ones for my upper patrons, and I did like super fancy one for my highest tier patron. Like I sent her a gift pack and then this like super fancy mask with cotton printed whatever, and it looked so pretty on her.
Or send them to Dragon Con.
Oh yeah, you can send this mask to Dragon Con.
They would also be good for the special ones would be good for the Mortals Market.
Smart.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, guys, we gotta wrap it up, unfortunately. But again, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And I hope the audience enjoyed our banter and our shenanigans.
Yep.
I don't know what's up next off the top of my head because I have not been paying that close attention.
I think we're gonna put the schedule up when we close out.
Yeah, hopefully. I think the schedule's gonna be up. So, but do stay tuned. There is going to be something in this space in like 10 minutes ish or something like that. So, thanks for tuning in. You've been a great audience, and I appreciate all of you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Jason Merrill, an excellent.
Jason.
We all love Jason. Anybody who's from the East Coast is like, Jason!
He's a treasure.
He is. I got him a book recently.
Aww.
If you've been on my Facebook wall, it's a hilarious book. You should check it out. All right, guys. We love you. Thank you.
Bye.